Hello. Oh my god, is that a witch? Oh my god, is that a witch?
Who? Me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I'm a witch. Hi, I'm Offie. I'm very excited. That's no surprise to anyone, but today I'm especially
Even
excited.
more excited.
I'm even more
Today,
excited.
after an entire year, we're starting Umineko Answer arc. There's only needed an year to finish this game, and there's gonna be a one other year to finish Answer.
Slow and steady. Slow and steady.
As
We
you
actually
notice,
did very well.
we switched to that pun not intended actually. We moved to a
the Switch
different version. Yeah, this is the Switch version with English mode. Yes, because it's not actually officially translated. But yeah, unfortunately, actually.
But this is hopefully gonna be way cooler.
This version is actually a lot cooler for what I've seen, because I replayed the other chapter we already seen.
Ooh. Also have music here.
Yes,
Nice.
and there's also the portraits. See, like episode 4 got this one with the stakes. This one with Eva.
Also, this is now you can see what I meant by chapter 4 or episode 4 not actually having a traditional portrait. Do you remember when I told you?
Yeah.
Everyone here.
Yeah, I do remember. That I noticed when I replayed, we did chapter 4 for this version. I noticed that it was like this. Okay. Episode 5. Who the heck is that?
End of the Golden Witch. Good morning. Please
Don't
enjoy
ignore
the
me.
Game with its new game master. I say that, but the game has already reached its climax. The culprit has been cornered and merely awaits checkmate. I am sure there's something you can spot from this clearer perspective. The difficulty is fairly easy. What could possibly fool you now?
New game. There's another. Is that's another? Oh god. Why there's a very depressed Beatrice in the background?
I would say let's just start. I'm so curious.
Who is that girl in the painting?
I kinda wish they concealed both the portrait and the picture behind just at the start of the episode. Just as a check, have you played this episode before? Have you started this episode before? And then it shows you later.
Yeah, but honestly, I do like this. I have to be honest, because I have no idea what's going on, of course, but it makes me want to play even more, honestly.
Shall we?
Yes, okay, we'll start. Fairly easy this time. It never was fairly easy, right? Never has been fairly easy. Fair depends on you. No, never was fairly easy. Okay, let's go.
Some say it's very easy.
Look how cool is this.
Oh my god.
I know, right? That's a big step up compared to the other version.
Undoubtedly nothing more than fantasy. Amazing.
Is there a reason for why it's written like that?
Just to be cool. Oh!
It's cool, right? Is it cool already? Why is it starting like this? What happened?
It's normal.
Okay, I have to do one thing though. Because the music is definitely too loud compared to the voice.
Yeah.
I mean, the music is cool, but I do really like hearing the dub.
Mirage coordinator there punching you in the face at the beginning.
It'll be fun to kill her and see the pain look on your face.
Oh my god!
I don't think it's right enough of it
No.
yet.
Pardon these first moments, but it's necessary. There we go.
Better, a lot better.
Better. Yes. Kagudayo.
Don't you look at it? It's magic, it's furniture. What are we talking about here?
I'm gonna get confused for a sec.
So wait, these ones are in the game. These Butler and Beato are in the game layer.
Apparently.
しかし星王様の言う通りにしてみたんだが本当に結構いいとこまで行けたな。なんでもツンツンと残虐を尽くした後に程よくへたれて出れてみせると好感度ってやつが大幅アップするんだろ。
Oh, there's even... Did you notice the note on the word?
I noticed, yes. That's so cool.
Okay. What are we talking about again? Complete change of scene, of course, because if the game doesn't tease me, it's not happy.
That lonely tone was the sound of the desolate wind blowing by. The color of the glittering flower petals on the rose bushes was that of gold. The group of gold butterflies, which had once danced through this golden rose garden like fluttering rose petals, could no longer be seen anywhere. The master of the Golden Land is the Golden Witch, Beatrice. She could be called inhumane and cruel, arrogant and outrageous, and also naive and simple. That laugh of hers, which lost its grace more and more the longer it continued, could no longer be heard.
Didn't she wanted to die last time we seen her? What the heck happened?
The Golden Witch Beatrice sat like a doll, resting in a deck chair adorned as beautifully as the golden rose garden. She wasn't relaxing there, empty-eyed, never responding to any questions, and yet still not permitted to sleep. Beatrice was sitting there as if she was a doll. Her hair was down, and Virgilia was carefully fixing it up with a comb.
Oh, I want to pinpoint. The game is made in a way so that you don't even if you click to continue, it's not gonna do it until it's the right moment.
Oh,
It's on purpose like that. So that's why sometimes it's a little bit slower going over. Just telling you that because it could be a little bit strange compared or how we played before.
oh, okay, understandable, thank you. If Beatrice had been complaining about this and that regarding her hairstyle, then it would have been clear that she was the usual Beato. However, she gave no responses and showed no reactions. So instead, it only looked like Virgilia was combing the golden hair of a large doll. Alongside them, there was a table. On it was a chessboard, along with a mix of black and white pieces in an all-out battle. However, something about this setup looked different from normal chess. It might have been a game similar to chess, but not identical. And on the other side, sitting back in his chair as contemplating his next move, was a young man. No, perhaps he wasn't thinking of his next move. Every once in a while, he would change the position of the pieces, reconsidering the situation each time he changed it. Maybe he was reconstructing previous games, trying to discover the thought process behind those moves. In the past, Kinzo, the Ushiromiya family had, once likened study chess games to taking a journey through the thoughts of the old masters. Ushiromiya Butler was on a journey. A journey in search of the Golden Witch's thought process, which had led her to create these arrangements and make these moves.
Wait. Okay.
Butler took a black piece, which he had just moved forward, and returned it to its original place, sighing deeply. Butler's pieces were white. However, on the chessboard, the side facing Butler was Black's territory. He was stepping through the game from Beato's perspective.
Ah, he literally spinned the chessboard.
Even Butler didn't expect that Beato would respond to that statement. No, he was still holding on to the hope that there might be a chance of her responding.
So this is probably what happened after the blue skewers. Because we are in the same place at the last battle, let's call it.
Exactly. And it only made it sound as though he was talking to himself.
Oh, I see.
Beato's eyes reflected nothing, and her mouth told nothing. After begging him to kill her, the Golden Witch had become a corpse which had given up on living. She wasn't sleeping. She was forbidden to step down from this game, and therefore sleep was not permitted. So she must have heard. However, his words probably hadn't reached her heart. The Golden Witch would no longer sneer at Butler's moves, nor would she praise them or belittle them.
Oh, so it's like, okay, it's a little bit what I thought, honestly, because until now, Beatrice had the upper end in the first 3 chapters. The 4th one is the only one where Butler got the upper hand. So he got, let's say, every time somebody on each side won, got an advantage. Until now, only Beatrice was on the upper end. So she got more and more servants and all of that. This time, Butler got the upper end. So she got less combative, let's say. I think. I don't know. But it will make sense.
Beatrice was no longer anything more than a living doll. Even so, she would glance at him every once in a while. It would be an empty glance, but a glance nonetheless. Sometimes, she would seem to make some sort of gesture, or even move her lips. However, her movements were never able to communicate anything to Butler.
どうやったらこの局面でこの指し手になるわけだ。わけがわからねえんだよ。お前の指し手はよ。
ベアとバトラ君が話しかけていますよ。
Oh, there's 3D audio. I don't know if you hear it. But Virgilia was on my right here. Virgilia was exactly on the right of the audio. That's pretty cool. If you notice, Butler's on the left and Virgilia's on the other side. If you notice.
Oh my god.
I don't know if chat is able to hear it like that, but it is like that for me at least. I'm using headphones, so that's how I hear it. Hi Ado, welcome.
Hi, hi.
いつもの黄色い笑いでいいから。
It seemed unbelievable. That shrill laugh of Beato's would never be heard again. However, even if she couldn't answer, his voice was surely reaching her. Butler was talking to her because he believed this. So he said the same thing one more time. Virgilia answered in her disciple's stead. Up to this point, she had done her best to avoid speaking for Beato. After all, there was a chance that Beato would respond in some way, and Virgilia didn't want to be the one to take the opportunity away from her. Which meant that Butler was being forced to bear with this silence. Until Beato herself answered. Virgilia could no longer bear to watch him like this. And Butler, too, wanted to have a conversation with Virgilia, with faith that their words would reach Beato's heart.
ああ、さっぱりだな。ベアトの立場になって。こうして駒を動かせば動かすほどに。
The successful execution of a serial murder following an epitaph. He was stepping through the games from the witch side, with that as the victory condition. But he just couldn't make it fit with Beato's moves.
Because that was never made to kill people.
He could see several incomprehensible moves in the records of the past games that clearly conflicted with that victory condition.
As said before, that's for some other stuff.
さっぱりわからねえ。こいつの思考を探る旅路はあまりに険しすぎるぜ。
でもあなたは投げ出さないのですね。
ああ、約束した。
Kill me. Let me die.
俺はこいつを安らかに死なせてやると約束した。そしてそれは俺にしかできない。
Beato's right ankle was bound with a heavy, cold steel shackle. It wasn't tied to anything, so it didn't restrict her movement. However, it symbolized restriction. It was a visualization of the restriction that prevented her from leaving the game without either victory or loss. And the shackle was probably hurting her. The mercilessly cold steel shackle was tormenting her over and over inside her waking dream. So there was never any relief in her empty expression. Her eyelids would sometimes tremble like she was having a bad dream, and every once in a while she would let out a pained gasp. Unless I win, Beato will never be released from the curse that prevents her from resting in peace.
良いのですか。第5のゲームはもう始まっているようです。
興味ね。
Why should I take part in any game without Beato as an opponent? If that's the only alternative, then stepping through the past games on a journey in search of Beato's thought process is a much better use of my time.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure I like that, but okay. I do, but I'm sure you're gonna do whatever you want. Of course. Oh, never mind.
戦いを放棄して人事不正。ベアとの不先輩でゲームオーバーでしょ。
確かにベアとはいろいろとあったんで、今はちょっぴりノックアウト気味。
Oh my god, the Lambda is even more unsettling with that smile. while talking,
I
like-
know the fact that they move their mouths in a way that actually makes sense with what they're saying. It's amazing.
Yes.
だからつまり私は介助役ってわけ。わかる？
Beata was laying down on a deck chair, sorry, almost as though she was sleeping. However, she wasn't sleeping, and she wasn't awake either. She was nothing more than a living doll who had given up on victory, asked Butler to perform her last rites, and entrusted everything to him. Of course, no fifth game would ever be prepared if everyone just sat around, so Lambda Delta has succeeded Beato as the game master, and proclaimed that she would prepare the next game.
ふざけるな。これは俺とベアとのゲームだぞ。お前らどこの誰か知らねえが勝手に話を進めるんじゃねえ。
あんたに意見は求めてないわ。
As previously stated.
どうすんのベル？受けるの？受けないの？
She said no, but okay.
いいわ。あん
Okay.
たが引き継ぎなさい。
なんだとふざけるな。お前ら何者か知らねえが俺とベアとを無視して勝手に話を進めるんじゃねえ。
落ち着きなさいよ。確かにプレイヤーが変われば察しても変わる。あんたにとっては戸惑うことも多いかもしれないけど、それでも大きなヒントになりうるでしょ。
知らねえよ。勝手なこと言って仕切ってんじゃねえ。
ベアとのゲームを4つも繰り返して何もわからないんでしょ。ならプレイヤーが変わるのは大きなヒントになると思うけれど。
大きなお世話だ。これはベアトが用意し俺を対戦相手に指定した。どこから湧いてきたのかもしれないお前らにかき回されるのはごめんだ。
ならベアトを起こして次の準備をさせて。
Oh.
できる？
Eh.
There we go.
ベアトはしばらく
Eh.
それに新しいゲームなんて必要。あいつがこれまでに出題してきた4つのゲーム、仮に第5のゲームがあるとしてもそれはベアトが出題し俺に挑むものだけで十分。
I mean, it would make sense on one side saying, I mean, she already did 4, so we have enough and we can use them.
お前らには何の関係もない。
Butler couldn't hide his irritation at these two witches called Lambda Delta and Berncastel, who had shown up after the game started and who had started to try and continue it on their own. It looked like these witches were of an even higher rank than Beato. So high, in fact, that even Beato's master Virgilia couldn't come close. Butler had the feeling that he had seen these two several times before. However, this was the first time he had learned their names and spoken to them directly.
ベアトを起こせず、あんたに次のゲームを準備もできない。だから私が次のゲームを用意するわけ。私たちはね、いつ正気を取り戻すかもわからないベアトにいつまでも付き合ってられるほど気が長くないの。ね、ベルン。
Wow.
退屈はごめんなの。イライラするほどに。
お前が退屈がろうが俺たちは知ったことじゃねえ。
まあまあ、このパーフェクトなラムダデルタ様に任せなさい。私がゲームマスターを引き継ぐ。大丈夫よ。あんまり絶対完璧にはプレイしないわよ。
Sure.
ベアトっぽくわけのわかんない
Sure.
役や尻尾、ボーナスヒントをいっぱい用意してあげる。ベアトの世界をより理解するための大きなヒントにしてあげるわよ。
Letting my voiceless emotions explode, I slammed the table hard. The two witches barely flinched. One grinned. The other looked indifferent, as though nothing had happened.
I wonder which did what. I really wonder.
The two of them just stared at me silently, as though they were reproaching me. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry.
何不満あんたは私による第5のゲームを降りるそれって不先輩
バトラは降りないわよ。もちろん第5のゲームにも参加するわ。
勝手に決めるんじゃねえ。お前らに俺は付き合わない。知ったことじゃない。
ならやっぱり不先輩ってことよね。このゲームは魔女側の勝ち。人間は屈服ってことでお開きでいいかしら。
降りるなら不先輩でゲーム終了だけどいいの？たった一人残された妹が無限の世界のすべてでたどる不幸な境遇を確定させたいのならそれも選択よ。
Okay. So.
Blackmail.
Yeah.
When Bernkastel mentioned danger, Butler's expression changed instantly.
てめえ、エンジェのことを気安く口にするんじゃねえ。
あなたにこの私、奇跡の魔女ベンジェにはひょっとしたら家族が帰ってくるかもしれない奇跡の余地が残されてるのよ。あなたが自らそれを捨ててエンジェの無限の未来すべてを不幸なものに確定するのもまた私には一興だけれども。
I vaguely understood what she was saying. Until I win in Beato's game, I remain trapped in this bizarre world. And if I abandon victory, then most certainly my parents and I will never return to Angel. For Angel's sake, even though I know that the witches are toying with me, I must keep on fighting.
くそ。
なにその不満そうな顔。自分の妹をグズグズのひき肉にされた怒り、もう忘れちゃったの？プチプチブチブチ。無数の焼けたペンチで引きちぎって細切れにしていくあの光景。
You.
Thank you.
今度はちゃんと真正面で見ないとダメ？
Oh.
Bernkastel faced the palm of her right hand upwards. And she did. A pale light gathered there, and some kind of blue glowing crystal appeared there. A scene was reflected on its shape surface.
Is she pondering the orb?
But it wasn't the scene that surrounded them now. If you look deep into the crystal, that fragment...
I need a drawing of Bernkastel pondering the orb now. Before now. Just telling you, that it could be a thing.
Then you would probably learn that what was reflected on there.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty clear this was gonna be this.
Maybe you can turn down the
effects?
SFX a little bit. Just
Yeah,
a tiny bit.
it was pretty loud, so.
Where? Sound, I think the sound is just,
volume, probably?
I think it's sound.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yes.
sound.
That should be SFX.
Let's leave it. Same as the music.
Understandable.
Same as the music. Let's see if let's see how it is. If it is too loud, we will change it again.
If you stared at it, then you would surely witness that scene where Angel finally reached her beloved brother after devoting 12 years of her life to that goal. Only to have her entire body turn to bits while she was still alive. Without thinking, he grabbed at her collar. But But as soon as he touched whatever made up her form, it disappeared like foam on the waves. And then, as naturally as though she had been there from the beginning, Ben Castle was leaning against a distant wall.
あなたがゲームを降りるなら
What is that face, Bergcastle?
これはかけらでなく確定した現実になる。その未来を紡ぐのは私じゃないわ。あなた自身よ。あなたが決めなさい。最愛の妹の未来をどうしたいのかを。
Bergcastle, yes. Butler's fist shook with anger.
Bergcastle fist showed with anger. Definitely. Bergcastle's... The very expressive Bergcastle's gonna do that.
Yes. I mean, she's very expressive now. Because
Yeah.
she's toying with
Yeah,
Butler.
of course.
But even if he swung them down, he wouldn't be able to hit Bergcastle. Like a cat or a phantom, this witch wouldn't even let someone pet her if she didn't wish for it. Besides, she's telling the truth. For Angel's sake, I can't step down from this fight. Even if these unpleasant witches hijack the game board.
さすがベル。脅し方もえぐいわね。そういうことよ、バトラー。あんたにはゲームを降りることなんて許されてない。あんたもベアとも私たちの退屈を紛らわせるゲーム版の駒でしかない。
Yeah, noticed.
そのわけのわかんない怒りやイラつきさえも私たちには退屈をまあ、その程度の怒りじゃ駄菓子程度だけどね。
Do you mind one sec?
Oh, of course. Is everything okay?
No, it's the controller. I
Oh,
just thought that I had to detach it from, you know, the Bluetooth, because if it's too much time in the on the cable, to detach it, if it's charging too much, the battery is not good for the battery. That's it.
Yeah, I understand. Don't worry.
Where the heck is one moment.
30円で2枚入ってるカレー味のポテトせんべい程度ね。
That's very specific.
Oh, very specific. Yes, very extremely specific. I don't understand how I did it last time. I did it very easily. But how? That's a good question.
I mean, we are in the answers arc.
True.
I expected an insult from you.
I honestly, I expect this type of jokes from you at this point. At this point, I do expect them. There we go. Okay, it should be good now, I think. Let's see. It's not, of course. Never mind. Okay, one moment of fixing this and then we'll be good.
I'm gonna look up what curry flavored potato.
Okay, it's done.
It's done? Of course.
It's done. The moment you said I'm gonna... Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's even more unsettling.
When they do that face and they even move, like talk, it's even worse.
エンジェのためにも戦いな。そして
ベアトのためにもで
In a way that was admonishing, or perhaps babying. Van Castle smiled, tormenting Butler in a similar way to how something too sweet sometimes gives you a headache. The host of this tea party, Beato, was absent now, and the guest witches were already making themselves at home.
どうすんの？後ろ宮バトラー、運命に屈しちゃう？降りちゃいなさいよ。魔女の駒にして遊ばれるなんてもうごめんなんでしょ？ベルンの駒は辛いわよ。きっとあんたもエンジェみたいに使い捨てにされるわよ。
あなたに降りる選択肢は与えてない。妹の未来のために戦い続けるの。私は味方よ。その未来にたどり着けるようあなたが勝利するまでサポートするわ。私が退屈するまで永遠に。
Of course.
Of course. Butler couldn't allow himself to fall for their provocation and casualty. These witches knew that he got mad easily, and they were trying to take advantage of that.
Of course.
Butler withstood it all, and finally relaxed his clenched fists.
You have no choice, dude. That's the only thing you can do.
第5のゲームとやらが始めたいなら好きにしろ。
好きにす。あれれ、どこ行くのよ。
Even though Butler had acknowledged this fifth game, he turned his back on them, which surprised Lambda Delta a bit.
お前がベアトの代役を務めるってんなら、そこのベルンカステルとかいう魔女が俺の代役を務めるのも勝手だろ。
What? What?
そうじゃないと不先輩になってしまう。
何よそれ。私が作る渾身のエピソード5をあんた無視するっての？
When you want to break the fourth wall, really just that much.
失礼しちゃう、失礼しちゃう。
バトラーはしばらく休憩するそうよ。それまでの間、私がプレイヤーの代役を務める。それでどう？バトラー。
そうしやがれ。
なにラムダ。間抜けなバトラーじゃなくて。
She's blushing.
プレイヤーだと。
そんなわけない。ベルンと一緒に遊べて嬉しいわよ。さあさあ、遊びましょう遊びましょう。ラムダデルタ様の超ハイパーでキュートに可愛いエピソード5を一緒に遊びましょうよ。
一応ベアトの作った世界なのに世界観ぶち壊しにしてないでしょうね。
大丈夫だってば。私そういうのの空気は読める方なのよ。
I don't know, but okay.
ちゃんとベアトっぽい世界観でもっと面白い物語に仕上げてみせたわ。バトラの休憩終わったら早く戻ってくるのよ。見逃すともったいないわよ。ベアトの秘密に迫れるようなボーナスヒントをたっぷり用意してるんだから。と見せかけてミスリード満載でますますに煙に巻く気なんだけどね。ちょっとこらバトラー、魔女の話聞いてんの？
He doesn't care.
Yeah, don't care at
Without
all.
answering, Butler disappeared into the darkness. After shrugging and cackling, the witches immediately started playing with the game board that they had stolen from Beato.
Okay, how is this gonna work actually? See, there's the music title over there on the left corner.
同じゲーム版を使う以上、この子にできないことはできません。しかし、この子がやらないことはやれます。
やらないこととは何だ？
チェスの道具はチェスで遊ぶために存在します。
Honestly, Bethesda with long hair is beautiful. I cannot say that.
Yes, 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 absolutely yes.
Yeah, I am allowed to say that. Okay, good.
I fell in love with Beatrice as soon as I saw her, but when I saw her with
Long hair.
long hair, I thought
It's amazing.
それを使ってトランプをすることはできない。
Okay.
しかしチェスの駒を相手に投げつけてぶつけたそういう行為をすることも不可能ではありません。しかしそれはチェスに対する冒涜だから誰もやらない。
that definitely wouldn't be chess anymore. It looked like Beato's eyes clouded very slightly with sadness.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
ふざけやがこれは俺とベアとのゲームだ。他の誰にも冒涜はさせない。
At that time, gold butterflies gathered and Runaway appeared. Whoa! Holding a tea set with black tea.
紅茶のおかわりはいかがですか。
もらえるか。
かしこまりました。いかがですか。お嬢様の思考を探る旅は。
Why are you screaming now? We've seen Bruno like 500
I know
times.
what he's speaking.
Ah, you mean that? Okay.
Also, I'm always fangirling over Ron.
No. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I told you. When asked who's my favorite right now, last time I said Renove. So I mean,
Understandable.
さっぱりだが楽しんでるぜ。
しかしよろしいのですか。こちらでくつろがれていても。
あの魔女どもが勝手に進めてるゲームのことか。
ええ、先ほど紅茶をお届けに伺った時にはもう第一の
what the heck? They just started.
もうじきその次の殺人も起こりそうな気配で。
When Beato and I were playing, the game would be paused whenever someone left their seats. However, those witches wouldn't pause that game just because I wasn't around.
ロノウェは奴らのゲームを見て
一部ではございます。
どうだった。
He lifted the pot high with an elegant gesture as he poured the black tea. After he was done, he finally spoke, expressing his thoughts in very few words.
愛がありませんな。
愛ってなんだ。
Oh.
これは失礼。女性風に申し上げるとです。
Yes, I'm sure it was very random you saying that, right, Renove?
Very random,
男
yes.
性風に申し上げるな。義理が通らぬと申しましょうか。
Understood what those words meant. When I met Virgilia's eyes, she shook her head slightly and stared at the floor.
上辺は大変よくお嬢様のゲームに似せていると思います。しかし根本が大きく異なっています。
それはベアとのゲームのルールに反す。
いいえ、反しません。ラムダデルタ様はお嬢様のゲームのルールを実しかし。
Butler stood up. There was no need to make Ronove say anymore.
ロノウェ、すまない。せっかく入れてもらったけど紅茶はいらねえぜ。
やはり参られま。
ああ、俺たちのゲームに部外者はいらない。
Those guys weren't even here in the beginning. Because I've been loafing around, the crazier and craziest witches have been introduced. And now that I have jacked this game between me and Beato.
取り返さねえとな。ベアとのゲーム版は今は俺が預かってるはずなんだ。その俺がここでぼんやりしてるわけに。
ありがとう。その言葉をこの子に聞かせてやりたかった。
きっと聞こえています。お嬢様はそれにお返事することができないだけで。
Beato lay there silently, like a living doll with doll eyes. The game board she had created herself had been hijacked by incomprehensible people and was being turned into a mess. Beato had called on me to be her opponent. Then this game must be something she created for me. I've got to take it back.
待ってろ。俺が取り返してくれ。
Hmm? Yeah, she moved there. Yeah, I know. I know.
Of course, Beato didn't respond in any way. That's right. If she can't respond, then I have to protect it in her place.
行ってくるぜワルギリアロノ黄金の眠り姫の面倒を頼むぜ
Golden Sleeping Priest, of course.
お任せ
いってらっしゃいバトルそしてこの子のいないゲームを
I think the music is still a little bit too loud. One moment.
Yes, a little bit. Okay, okay.
I think now it's a
こ
little
の子
better.
の何かを見つけてあげてくださいもしそれを見つけることができたならたとえこの子が不在であってもあなたはこの子と戦ってくれたことになる
そうだよああ全然ダメだぜ俺は何をやってるんだ
Let's go. And let's take
魔
it
女ども
back.
待たせたな俺の休憩は終わりだぜ
When he faced the Jack Black Heavens and Yaltis, the whole world shattered as though it was made out of glass. Thin glass.
Just like that. Just like in that animation.
Then, as though it had been that way since the beginning, it transformed into that smoking room where Butler had fought Beato so many times, and which the two witches had now hijacked.
なにあんた今頃戻ってきたの超遅すぎもうゲームは2日目どころか大詰めも大詰めよ
バトルがいつまでも来ないから私が勝手に進めちゃった
Yeah, like you ever even waited for me in the first place.
Of course.
ケルンはあんたよりずーっと頭が冴えてて痛快だったわよ
That I can't believe.
プレイヤーは俺だ大役の魔女どもは引っ込んでろ
別に今から参加しても構わないけどもう出番ないわよ
確かにだってもうクライマックスもクライマックスこれで多分ベルンが詰めたゲームセットだもん
なんだと
いいんじゃない最後の詰めくらい見物しても
そうねおいでなさい後ろ宮バトルもうほとんどおしまいだけど私の作ったキュートでエピソード5エンド・オブ・ザ・ゴールデンウィッチ
Yay!
What? Oh, we have the...
I mean, yeah, the game is already started.
Of course, you have the character, because with the game started, okay.
Kings is alive.
Kinzo is alive.
Kings is alive.
Kinzo is alive. Has never made another.
Servants are alive.
Okay, so anything strange about this? Real estate investment, all same stuff. Okay. Corp discovered in a cousin's room on the upper floor of guest house. The direct cause of that is unknown, but her neck was sliced open with a sharp blade. It was deep enough that anyone could easily confirm her death with absolute certainty. Ah, okay.
I mean,
Of course. Nanjo's alive. Okay. Eva's alive. Wait, there's only... Oh, this must be the first 6. This must be the first Twilight then. If there's only 6 deaths. If you,
right,
if
yes.
you see.
Yes. See, yes, yeah. They said that the first Twilight has been is concluded, and then the second one was about to happen.
Hideyoshi Copper discovery in a guest room on the first floor of the mansion. Pierced to the back with a demon stake. Cypress is very slung. Ermenegildo, hi. Hi, Leonard.
Hi.
Is lying face down on the bed, suicide must be ruled out. Okay. I mean, on the back, you cannot try and stab yourself on the back. Oshime George, a couple discovered in the cousin's room on the upper floor of the guest house. The direct cause of that is unknown, but his neck was sliced open by a sharp blade. The wound was deep enough that anyone would consider... Okay, these two were together.
Apparently, yes.
And they die the same way.
Yes.
Yeah, some things like sharp blades slice their necks. Okay. Genji. Copies covered in the servant's quarter of the first floor of the mansion. The direct cause of that is unknown, but it's the same thing. But this is the
Same.
quarter, servant's quarters.
Cousin's room.
Same thing, but cousin's room.
Cousin's room.
Okay, they all been their neck had been sliced open, apart Hideyoshi, who was pierced through the back.
He's the only one who has been pierced by a demon stake.
Yeah, and it's strange because there's like, what about the 6? It's usually always 6 people. So this is another Twilight, maybe?
And who's the 6th one?
I have no idea, because there's only 5.
Yeah.
Second day. Oh yeah, we're already a second day. Of course.
Oh, the rain!
Yeah, it moves, I know.
Outside the windows as well. Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
Yeah.
Look at that! Oh my god! I'm so very easily entertained, sorry.
Look at the rain on the windows.
Ah. Right now, no humans exist on this island except for those in this parlor.
I have no idea where the thieves are here. Oh, also look at this. If you wanna see all the messages, you can actually.
いいんじゃない最後の爪くらい見物しても
That's cool.
I know. And there's also
Oh,
in the chapters there are other chapters.
good.
There
This is useful.
Every chapter is divided in different. If you look at the bottom left, every time it is a little title. Every time the thing changes. So there's no tips though. Yet, at least.
No tips.
But maybe because they're not here yet.
Maybe there's gonna be another slide there, like characters and tips.
I mean, there's definitely space there.
Yeah, maybe. And with one exception, it has been shown that none of them have committed murder. And the culprit is among these people.
おいおいとなると決定的じゃねえか
魔女が犯人で魔法で殺人を犯したらあんたなのあんたがジョージを主人を殺したのどうしてよどうして私は殺していません私は何も
In a panic, and with a voice that really couldn't be called flowing. In a manner that was, to put it coldly and slightly, Aunt Natsuhi denied the suspicion placed upon her. However, there was no longer any way around it. The girl stood up, brushed back her long hair, pointed at Aunt Natsuhi, and said it one more time. Oh my
あなたが犯人です
Who the heck is this? Who the heck is
much, but I'm
this?
so happy to see you.
後ろ宮夏日さん
What? Game, you cannot do this to me. You can't. Look how cool the intros are, by the way. They're completely different.
Yes. This is the same answer one that I've seen.
Hmm. Who the heck is this girl? There's only 18 people in this island. Yeah, my ass. 18,000 maybe.
17.
Yeah, sorry, 17
17
because Kinzo's already dead from the start. So yeah, 17 my ass.
Oh.
Oh. Were those two Beatrices in the same place?
And Butler.
But
No,
they're-
that was Virgilia.
Oh, okay. I barely saw her.
No, that's Virgilia. I'm so happy right now. Yes, this is the same opening that that I've seen. So these ones are safe. I don't advise you see the actual Saku one because
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
spoilery.
Yeah, I heard that.
夏日です開けてください
Natsuhi yelled as she knocked loudly and repeatedly. Shortly after, there was a heavy clanking sound, and the sound of the door to Kinzo's study unlocking could be heard. As the door opened, a heavily sweet, venomous odor flowed out. Natsuhi was always ashamed of how she automatically grimaced at that, even though she thought it rude to the family head. Kraus was waiting for her inside the study. Natsui flew into his arms.
お父様はお父様は
Wait. Okay.
お父様はお父様は
落ち着きたまえ。今南條先生が見ている。
With an uncertain gait, Natsuhi went towards the center of the study, supported by Kraus.
Hi, Super Mew. You're watching on YouTube? We're on Twitch though. But that doesn't make sense. Hi, by the way. We're in chapter 5 answer, so big spoilers.
Big spoilers alert.
So just saying. Oh, watching Let's Play. Okay, I see. You don't mind. Okay, good. Because
Good. Then you're welcome.
This
a
is
lot of fangirling ahead.
This is answers, so it's big spoiler. Welcome, by the way. I'm PixelBit. This one, the witch up here is Offie. So
Hi.
hello. Sport Backcross, yeah, okay. So he's dead?
There, a dignified bed fitting for the head of the Ushiromiya family could be
Ah,
seen,
of
along
course.
with Nanjo, Genji, and Kumasawa.
南條先生お父様は
Which Mother Beatrice was supposed pausing the story and flirting.
After sighing deeply, Nanjo left the side of the bed. On the bed, Kidzo could be seen laying down, sleeping.
大往生だ。
I mean, it would make sense for what we knew until now, because he's been dead from the start.
Yes.
Kept really about to get some standards.
金蔵さんも心残りはなかっただろ
お父様
Sobbing, Natsuhi put her head against the chest of the man who had fallen into a sleep from which she would never awaken.
奥様、どうかしっかり。お父様、こんな突然だって。
I mean, not that sudden, but okay.
So he couldn't stop her tears over the death of Kinzo, whom she had loved like a second father. Kumasawa rubbed Natsuhi's back, consoling her. Kraus slumped into his late father's favorite chair.
Oh, you're also playing visual novel. That's cool.
By sitting there, he might have been immersing himself in memories of his departed father. Or perhaps he thought that by sitting there, he might be able to understand just a bit of the madness of Kinzo's later years.
You like Rosa? No one likes Rosa. Not even Rosa herself likes Rosa.
Rosa definitely does not like herself. 100%.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You like Rosa? No, no one likes Rosa. Sorry. Not even yourself like Rosa for real. It's impossible. You can say that, but I do not believe it.
Can you say it in red?
Say it in red, or else it's not true. By the way,
Madness of later years, which had alluded him to the end of his father's life. Nanjo turned his back and looked down over the outside world through a crack in the curtains.
that's okay. Thank you for passing by.
Thank you. It was the same thing he'd often done when Kinzo sat in that chair and contemplating a chess move.
同じ死ぬならせめて寝込んで1年後に死亡とか。もう少ししかるべき準備の猶予期間を設けてから死んでほしかったのに。
Dude, like you care for real.
それは逆だ。最後の瞬間までお元気だったことを喜ぶべきです。建前上は
Exactly.
そうなるがね。
Nanjo understood that as well. This was the death of Shiromiya Kinzo, a man who had risen like a comet and glittered like a supernova in the post-world world of business. His funeral would probably be of a fantastic scale. It would also be the ceremony marking Krause's inheritance of the headship.
Of course.
He would have to arrange everything as the host of the event, carry out funeral diplomacy perfectly, and make it clear that the Shiromiya family would still hold enormous influence in the political and financial spheres. As Nanjo watched Krause, as he was vividly reminded of the time when Kinzo had been suddenly selected as the Shiromiya family head. A time in which Kinzo had been lost and confused. Nanjo could remember that well, and for that reason, he was able to understand Krause's distress and sympathize with it.
Distress? He was just waiting for this dude.
Natsui's sobs eventually subsided.
Notice, I have to pinpoint, notice how Natsuhi is crying and Krause is not.
I kinda wanted to say that before. Natsuhi is basically the only one.
Natsuhi actually, honestly, really cared about Kinzo, and I can't believe that. Even after all that part with Kinzo telling her that she is Ushiromiya to him and all that stuff, it's like a daughter to him and all that argument. Yeah, and honestly, I probably, if Natsui was actually her daughter, he would have chosen her for the inheritance, definitely. I could see that. But... And then there's Kraus.
And then there's Krause. Seeing this, and leaving Kumasawa to care for Natsuhi as a fellow woman, Genji returned to Krause. And he lowered his head slightly, as though asking what should be done.
手続き等は私と源氏さんでやろう。クラウスさんはまず親戚の方々に連絡した方がいいでしょうな。
Kraus, with his hands still over his eyes, didn't respond. Perhaps, even though he had known this day would come, Kraus really couldn't hide his shock at how suddenly it had reached them.
私と南條先生にお任せを。旦那様はまずは奥様とご相談いただくのが。
Maybe she heard that, or maybe it was a coincidence. As though responding to Genji's words, Natsuhi came over. Her eyes were red from crying so much. But she apparently understood the heavy responsibility that had been imposed on the two of them even better than Kraus did.
これからはあなたが栄光ある後ろ宮家の当主です。お父様の後を立派に継いだことを内外に示しましょう。この夏日、あなたの妻として棺を並べる日までお仕えする覚悟です。
Natsuhi, you deserve way better than Kraus.
Honestly, yes.
Yes.
As I said before, Natsuhi may have her problems with her daughter Jessica. Okay, I do see that. But at least she's trying. Because we know that she's trying. Kraus is not even trying. Kraus doesn't care about anything apart from money. I mean, even Eva, and we're talking about Eva, cares about George and Hideyoshi, thank you. I don't think actually Kraus cares about anyone about himself. Until now, I have no proof about anything else about that.
In chapter 4, it was pretty clear that he cared about his daughter as well. That was pretty clear to me, at least.
When?
In chapter 4, when he talked to her over the phone before the test. Didn't he?
Yes. I don't know. Yes, but I'm not 100% convinced.
Understandable. Maybe it's just copium.
I mean, I'm not saying he's like Rosa, of course, because Rosa it's an extreme example.
There's an abyss between Kraus and
Yeah, no. It's completely different, of course, but maybe he cares, but not that much. Let's say it like that. Okay.
Trying to encourage her husband, who was overcome with shock, Natsui lent him some reassuring words. When Kraus finally lowered the hands that had been covering his face, he looked up at the ceiling with a blank expression and let out a deep, deep sigh.
どうかしっかりお父様の残したものを食い荒らそうと目論む輩が大勢いるのですよ。私たちはお父様の名誉と財産を守るために、それが後ろ宮家当主の最初の仕事ですよ。
分かってる。分かっているとも。
南條先生と源氏はお役所や葬儀業者への手配をお願いします。特に源氏、お父様の葬儀にふさわしいものとなるよう特に手配を頼みますよ。
かしこまりました。
それから南條先生、お父様は病院でお亡くなりになったわけではないので、
場合によっては解剖が入るかもしれませんな。
なんとかなりませんか。亡くなったとはいえお父様の大切なお体です。傷をつけるなど耐えられることではありません。
気持ちはわかる。だがそういうところをきっちりすることも大切だ。それにこう言ってはなんだが難しい親族の方々が多いんじゃないかね。
There was no way to know what those Internetes vultures might try to find fault with.
Oh, definitely.
They might squawk that there was something suspicious about the cause of death, and use that as a point of contention to start some trouble. Right now, not only was it important to pay Kinza's remains the respect that they were due, but there was also a need to focus on solidifying the position of the new family head, Kraus.
わかりました。必要最小限にお願いします。間違ってもお父様の威厳が損なわれるようなお姿にし。
それは大丈夫だ。安心しなさい。とにかく金蔵さんのことはわしらに任せて、これからが大変なんだから。
分かっています。あなたもどうかしっかり。
Kraus was still staring lazily at the ceiling with a befuddled expression on his face. Natsuhi understood the shock and heavy responsibility. She felt that she understood her husband's feeling as well as anyone anyone possibly could.
親族への連絡は今だけは休まれてください。
Kraus didn't respond. Natsuhi thought that he was being a little bit weak, but that just made it all the more important for her to support him right now. Seeing her husband like this actually stirred Natsuhi up, and with a resolute expression rose to her face.
これから忙しくなります。今できることを始めましょう。夫はきっとお父様と二人きりで話したいこともあると思います。
I really like how I saw that character from before, and now we're talking about a completely different thing. It's not like I really wanted to know who that was. Not really.
私たちは一度ここを退出しましょう。
そうでございますね。その時間はきっと今しか取れ
And they're even taking their time talking about this. Just saying.
Absolutely. Being in charge of a funeral is tiring work. There's no time to shed tears. If Krause were ever to be given time to cry for his dead father, that time would have to be now. Everyone agreed with Kumasawa's words. Even then, Krause continued to lazily gaze up at the ceiling and didn't respond in any way. Natsuhi urged the servants to go.
私はジェシカにも話してきます。今やあの子が次期当主です。それにふさわしい自覚を持つようによく言い聞かせなくて。
待て。
What?
As they each started to make their way out of the study, Krause finally spoke. They stopped walking.
Hi.
待て。
はい。
And she already stopped walking, just like her husband had asked. But despite that, he had once again told her to wait. From those slightly weak words, Natsuhi understood that he had probably stopped her because he wanted her to be by his side.
お前たちは下へ。私は夫と言います。何かあったらここに電話するように。
かしこまりました。だから待てと言っている。
Okay. What?
When Krause suddenly raised his voice, everyone jumped and turned around.
What's your problem, Kraus?
Unable to comprehend what she had done to spark her husband's wrath, Natsuhi ran up to him.
どうしましたあなた。
Wrong button.
私は何か失礼なことを口にしてしまいましたか。だったらお許しを。
いや、違う。そうじゃない。そうじゃない。少し待て。時間をくれ。
What's the problem?
分かっています。心を整理するためにも必要です。私たちはその時間をあなたにあげようと、ここから静かに出て
I don't think that's that, but I don't understand what's his problem.
だからそれを待てというのだ。いいか、誰もその場から動くな。一歩たりともだ。疲れたなら、椅子にでもソファーにでも好きに座ればいい。
What?
だから何も喋らずに静かに黙って、何もせずにいろ。
Those unreasonable words felt like a glimpse of how Kinzo used to be. Natsuhi couldn't hide a slight of surprise at those words, which made it seem as though Kinzo has possessed her husband. Natsuhi told the servants to wait for the time being. She ordered them to sit in a sofa at a short distance off, approached her husband, and spoke to him in a small voice.
あなたがお命じになれば、夏日はいくらでも待ちます。とどまります。ですからどうか、お気を鎮められてください。
違う。そうではないのだ。
Was he really his father's blood, or was he actually being possessed?
Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. That's why it was never going on. I was like, yeah, what's gonna happen? I was waiting. I was like,
the game was waiting. Like,
I was like, why is nothing happening? Okay. Oh, then I understood.
Krause's disorderly style of speech strongly resembled Kinzo's. As she watched this, Natsuki felt with even greater certainty that Krause was indeed King of Sun.
Okay.
And that he was the true successor to the head.
Okay, we established that
certain.
game. I still don't understand what's going on.
Oh!
Yeah, he moved.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! PNG sliding! That PNG just moved!
Oh my god!
The PNG just moved! Said the woman made of an animated made of animations, but said the 2D woman actually moving and animated properly. I love this. I have to be honest. I love that it was just sliding. Oh my god! It moved. It's moving. It's moving. Yeah. The fact that we're VTubers and we're actually made out of, you know, 2Ds and anime. that movie that killed me.
I know that, but still, oh my god!
Oh my god, it slided a little bit on the right.
I just didn't expect that.
No, that's okay. It's okay. I completely understand, but can you see it from the outside?
Yes. I understand. Do you want me to move to the left right now? Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
See? that was just enough. By the way.
Towards the window, trying to lengthen the distance between himself and the servants waiting on the sofa by even a small amount. Natsuki realized that he must have something secret that he wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. What? Why?
もうお亡くなりになりました。そういうわけには参りません。
そうじゃない。今はまずいんだ。
どういうことですか？
Oh.
親父の財産を担保にしている。
Oh.
Do you remember when all the brothers were like, "Oh my god, what are you doing with that
They were
money?"
right. I honestly knew they were right. I honestly could. I had no proof. You know, like the meme. I have no proof, but I know they are right.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
相続問題になれば隠しをせない。
Oops.
Oops.
担保ですか？いかほど？
All of it.
メロディーランドの時、近藤君を応援したことがあっただろう。
あの方とは縁を切れと申し上げたじゃありませんか。私には断ったと言ったはず。
Well, apparently he didn't listen to you, girl.
どうして？
男の義理というものがある。
There we go.
Okay, Natsui, now this is the proof that you can do much better than him, honestly.
断れなかった。
Cross claimed to hold honor as a virtue. However, Natsuki knew that he most often used this as an excuse after he couldn't bring himself to pass up a deal.
お金に余裕があるならいざ知れず、この島のリゾート計画でかなりの借金をされたのではありませんでしたか？
ああ、したさ。
Then what happened?
に世話になったのだ。それらを返済するためにも座しているわけにはいかない。
Okay.
返済するためには金がいる。
Uh-huh.
金を生むためには金がいる。
Uh-huh.
金がなければ始まらない。
Uh-huh.
この島の計画だって企画会社がおかしなことにならなければ順調だったのだ。
Uh-huh.
国とも連携は取れていた。
Yeah, there's a lot of copium.
There's
But a lot of copium
now.
here.
東京都の新しい観光スポットになると知事の
Uh-huh.
ももらえていた。
Okay. Okay. Think about this, Kraus. Now follow me. I know it's gonna be very hard to follow me, but think about this. Okay? Just for a moment. Really, we must have to stretch it, but follow me for a moment. If you do not have the money, wait, you do not spend them.
There we go.
I don't think it's that hard to follow, but it may be hard for you to follow, but think about it very well. That's how you usually do. Just saying.
Kraus common sense has left the chat.
Yeah, but many years ago.
私の根回しは完璧だったのだ。
Sure.
Uh-huh.
たまたま巡り合わせとタイミングが悪かった。
Random chance and bad timing. Sure.
ちょっとした運のすれ違い。
Just a bit.
事故みたいなものだった。
Even your example doesn't fit because a traffic accident usually it's someone's fault. Someone's at fault. No, I'm not talking to you, of course, Leonard.
あれは事故なんかではありません。詐欺です。あなたは騙されたのです。初めから彼らはこの島のリゾート計画など描けていなかったのです。
Oh,
そんなことはないぞ。
you have been played.
土方君のビジョンは先見性に溢れていた。世界の未来に目を向けた広大な視野は、私が夢だと信じていたものなど、猫の額ほどの広さしかないことを教えてくれた。
The ways I always focus on the world and the future taught me that things that I always believed to be mere dreams were only tip of iceberg with. It tricked you. Dude, it tricked you.
Copium.
It definitely tricked you.
Got played like a fickle.
Yeah. Read as a book.
夢が広がる。世界に未来に。
Oh, the amount of copium there's here.
夏日も一緒に聞いていただろう。
ええ、聞いていました。そしてお帰りになられた後に申し上げたのです。
That's he is the only one which could have left his family.
That's okay, the one with the brain here, probably.
Yes.
あの方はうさんくさい。語るのは未来
But
ばかりで
unfortunately,
地に足がつ
unfortunately,
いてい
she's
な
a
い。
woman married into the Ushirmiya family.
I think more than that, she's married into the Shirmiya, more than she's a woman.
Woman.
これ以上お付き合いしてはならないと。
土方君は立派な好青年だ。
Uh-huh. Sure.
彼の生き様
Why
からは
didn't he
学ぶ
marry
ことも多いぞ。
Yes, that's the whole point.
Kraus X Hijikata-kun for life.
彼は若いが尊敬できる。彼のことを侮辱することは許さんぞ。
あなたは同じことを月旅行の時にもおっしゃいました。
Moon tourism?
先見性がある、未来がある、夢があると連呼され、その挙句はいかがでしたか。荒唐無稽な話だったと、あなた自らがお認めになったではありませんか。
Okay, no, Kraus is definitely crazy.
私はNASA の高官とか名乗るおかしな男が現れた頃から、これは絶対におかしいと確信しておりました。
Okay, no, here, no one in a safe state, mind state could believe that. No one. No one.
It was way too much at the time.
It's like one of those very obvious spam mail, definitely.
Yes.
俺は
Oh my god,
あの外
Kraus.
国人が国際的な詐欺師だったに過ぎない。
Sure.
Yeah.
あの件については私も曽根崎氏も彼の先見性は今をもって間違っていない。将来必ず 世界の大富豪が宇宙旅行をたしなむ時代が訪れる。
I mean, almost.
I mean, okay.
Almost.
There will come a time, but you'll probably
In
be dead.
2026.
There will probably be dead already, so, you know.
そしてその最初の事業は民間一社によって独占されるだろう。
Okay, yes.
着眼点は間違っていない。それを利用して世界中の投資家を騙している国際的な詐欺集団がいて、
This game was written a while ago.
Yeah, but...
曽
Yeah.
根崎という男もその一味だったと申し上げているのです。あなたはどこまでお人よしなのですか。どうしていつも
Thank you. Natsuki, the voice of reason.
訂正しろ。曽根崎氏は優秀な未来ある男だ。
Yeah, as a swindler.
うさんくさくなどない。彼の語る夢は未来を先取りしているからこそ、それが見えるものには妄想にしか見えんだけだ。女のお前には未来など見えん。
Mm-hmm.
ええ、女の私には未来など見えません。でも現在なら見えます。私の目の前で狡猾な二枚舌の詐欺師たちに丸め込まれ、
Oh, someone call an ambulance. Because Kraus dead. Someone call an ambulance because Kraus dead. Kraus dead. Kraus dead. The one that's dead is not Kinzo, it's Kraus. Right now, he's dead.
Yes, yes.
I can see a pitiful husband who's been taken by his lie, double-crossing swindler and still trust them implicitly even after he's been tricked.
Oh, God.
Talk about burn.
ねえ、黙れ。お前には金も事業も経済も何もわからん。
Denying the evidence. Literally denying the evidence.
夫の仕事に口は出すな。妻は
Uh-huh.
口だけをしてればいい。
Uh-huh. Oh, now we're at that point. Okay.
お前は黙っていろ。
Mm-hmm. Slap him. He deserves it.
Would you like to read? Sorry, I
Oh,
read a lot.
yes, of course. With another word, Natsui felt silent just as Kraus wanted. She was already far beyond anger and sadness, and the emotion that lay on the other side of those was an almost indifferent pity. Kraus had always been frightened of Kinzo since the day of his youth, and had come to subconsciously admire the way his father lived. But realizing it, he had come to believe that he could only be recognized as a man in his own right if he surpassed his father. However, Kinzo had been a mad genius, the likes of which had never before seen in the Ushimiya family long history. His talent was a gift from heaven, and it definitely wasn't genetic, much less something that could be learned.
Shut up, Kraus.
Definitely wasn't genetic. Natsui instructed the servant to not tell anyone about Kinzo's death, and dismissed everyone for the time being to give the two of them a chance to talk alone. Okay. Then she invited Kraus to her bedroom and made him tell everything about their current financial situation. There were things that Natsuki hadn't been told about under the assumption that a woman had no business knowing. Natsuki had herself made a point of avoiding this area in the past, thinking that it wasn't a wise place to introduce such matters. Maybe you should have done this before and you would have avoided the entirety of this situation. However, this might also have meant that she had been remiss in her duty as a wife to protect her family. The depth of this scene has been made quite clear to Natsuki. Kraus was probably tired of trying to defend himself. Perhaps because he had gotten a headache, he hid his face and sank to silence. Natsuki noticed that the water in the electric kettle was boiling and stood up to refill her cup with black tea. When she touched the cup of black tea, she noticed for the first time. The sound of the cup and saucer clinking together told her that her fingers were shaking. Kraus had built up a large debt to obtain funds to his various projects, and to cover the losses when they failed. Of course, he had been put the mentioned property up as a collateral. Of course. However, doing such a thing above board would have resulted in the mortgage being registered. In other words, there would have been a record that Kraus had put Kinzo's wealth up as collateral to obtain a loan without anyone's permission. Kraus couldn't afford for Kinzo, Eva, and the others to learn such a thing. Therefore, he had been putting those assets up as collateral using the worst possible method. Oh no, did he go to a loan shark?
委任状を預けた。
それは
What Kraus was saying probably meant that he had, in essence, signed away the right to their assets. If those assets had been used as collateral for a loan, then Kraus would have some option under the law. He would have had to deal with a bank, which would have absolutely no compassion, but they would have been able to work something out with the rules set by society. However, seeing away the deed and power of attorney was a whole different story. In short, even the mansion they were living in was at risk. If the person holding the deed were to decide to ignore his agreement with Kraus and sell the mansion to a third party in right this moment, they would have no recourse whatsoever. Oh, okay, so
they're left up to those people.
yeah, basically, is instead of going to a bank, he just said, "Okay, you have the house now, and I will pay you back." Basically, without going to ask for a loan or anything that you normally do.
Good job, Kraus.
Good job,
Good
Kraus.
job, Kraus.
That was definitely a good idea as a businessman, of course. I know I dress as a businessman, but I'm no businessman myself. But I do understand that that's a bad idea. I'm businessman enough to understand that's a bad idea. Apart from using their house as collateral for a loan, this was basically the same as selling to borrow money. Yeah, basically what I said.
つまり後宮家の生殺与奪は金貸したちの手に委ねられていたわけですね。
Yes.
彼らがほんのわずかの気まぐれを起こして突然この家を売り払ったら私たちは今すぐにも荷物をまとめ出ていかなくてはならないということですね。
Exactly.
理屈上はそうだ。だが、取引の相手はいずれも社会的信用のある人物ばかりだ。
Dude.
You're
Dude.
reputable or Natsuhi's reputable?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna...
difference.
That's a difference. That's a huge difference. Reputable for who?
サラ金じゃないぞ。
They aren't loan shark. Yes, sure.
経済人同士の信用取引だ。
Economically literate man.
Just like you, dude. I trust them.
だって私に金を貸すことで私が大きな事業を成功
Uh-huh.
させ、投資した額が大きくなって帰ってくることを信用して
Sure.
委任状を預けたのは私の誠意と事業の絶対の成功を疑わないからだ。
I don't really understand the signing over the power of attorney, but I do understand the other part, which is still bad.
ここで渋ったらどうなる？自分の事業に自分で自信が持てないことになるだろう。
Okay. Dude. If your venture had been successful, it wouldn't be in debt now, would we? Yeah. I didn't want to say that. I thought it very hard, but the game said it for myself. Natsuhi only bears the person.
A lasting power of attorney is a legal document that lets you appoint one or more people to help you make decisions or to make decisions on your behalf.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it said, okay, you have the total control over my assets.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. It's said in a different way in Italian, but I don't really remember. But yeah, I understand the practice, by the way. I do understand what it means.
お父様は亡くなりました。すると、あなたの借金が白日のもととなり、他の兄弟たちに咎められることになるわけですか。
それだけでは済まない。多分刑事訴訟にも及ぶだろ
Oh, wait. Is this the reason why she was appointed as culprit? So saying you're killing everyone so that no one will discover all this stuff, Nasuhi. Because you don't want anyone to discover the stuff that your husband did. You want to cover for him. It could be. I could see that the way. Wait, I missed something.
I love that when you go back.
You actually go back.
Everything goes back.
You actually go back. I know. It's amazing.
どうしてですか？
君は知らない方がいい。とにかく絶対にこのことを誰にも知られてはならない。
It's better if you don't know. It's even worse than explaining it, dude. It means that if she knows, she's gonna be in trouble. Okay. Cross looked at the floor shamefully, shaking his head over and over. Dude, how can you be that dumb? If you come to criminal charges, then he must have broken some laws. He had probably been so intent on raising a large sum of money that he hadn't paid any heed to appearances. Dude! Because I seriously believe that this many project would definitely succeed and return huge profits. So he had figured that even if he broke a few laws, he would have been able to pay everything back before too long. And pretend that the whole thing had never happened.
Sure.
Yes.
Very, very Delulu.
Yeah, Delulu. But big Delulu. And so might have been lessen his resistance toward breaking a couple of laws. One or two laws. What? I mean, just a couple.
Just a couple. Don't break the law.
Don't break the law, of course. And now on Kinzo's dad, the worst possible thing had occurred, and so he wouldn't be able to keep it all hidden. You're dumb twice because you knew that you were doing something illegal, and you also knew that Kinzo was on the verge of that, so you knew that this was gonna happen, dude. What the heck?
私たちは
You're just gonna have to live under a bridge probably, but whatever.
君は信じてくれんな。景気は今確実に上向いているんだ。
Really? You're copying you're the Lulu even now? Even after all these? Still being the Lulu, dude? There's a limit of copium, dude.
私が都心で投資した不動産価値はみるみる上昇している。
Sure.
今それらを統合して巨大ビジネスタワーを建設する計画が進む。
Okay, with what money?
これは私のこれまでの投資の中で最も確実で最も大きな成功。ただそれは身をつけるのにまだ時間をかける。絶対に確実だが今すぐというわけではない。
その事業の成功は借金を返済するに足りるもの。
もちろんだと思う。これまでの借金をすべて帳消しにできる。信じてくれ。もう少しだけ時間が欲しいんだ。
No one I wouldn't believe you even.
お父様はもうお亡くなりにな。もうその時間はないのですよ。
Yep.
分かっている。わかだから。どこかから金を調達して今すぐに借金を返さな。とにかく金が必要なんだ。金が大量に今すぐ。
A lot of money right now.
This is the consequence of wanting a lot of money right now.
Maybe a little less of money and maybe not right now would have been better. Just a little of money and even later could have been good.
Yes.
Klaus roared and clutched his head, writhing about as if in pain. As Natsu watched, several conflicting emotions whirl about in her chest. She felt pity over her husband, at the same time she felt he was a fool. And she also felt a mixture of anger and regret toward her own irresponsibility in letting her husband run wild for so long. Girl, you had nothing to do in all of this. I have to be honest, Natsuki, you have nothing to do in all of this. None of this is your fault. You even told him that that dude was being suspicious and was a fraud, so, you know. It should have been clear to him well before today that they were in a very critical situation, yes. And yet he had irresponsibly waited for this moment to come and was now writing about. Her husband was so foolish and pitiful. It was easy to feel frustrated with him. However, she was his wife. For a wife to ridicule her husband as a fool would run in conflict with her responsibilities. If he was a fool, then she would have to support him to compensate. However, she didn't have a clue what she was meant to do about this runaway girl as far as you can. If there was a massive amount of money like that within easy reach, if only, there was no way that Kraus would have already laid his hands on it. It would also be easy to tell him to be a man and give up on everything, but that would also run in conflict with her responsibilities. She was Shiromi Natsuhi, the woman who had become Kraus' wife and sworn to support him, the new head of the Shiromiya family for as long as she lived. She had to somehow help her husband in his effort to raise money. She understood it logically, but she couldn't suppress the indescribable feeling of dejection that seemed to rise up from the dark depths of their heart.
There we go.
Oh, okay, yeah. Don't you already have one of those ingots hidden in the house?
Technically, yes.
So, I mean, he knows that the gold is true, of course. I mean, selling that gold ingot could be a lot of money right now. So that could be a start. I mean, that ingot looked very big, and it was also pure gold instead of the normal ingots, as the game told you, and I also told you about. So it's even worth more than a normal ingot. So, you know. And by the way, a normal gold ingot is not as you see in anime or cartoons. It's not as big. Because if it was, it would basically be impossible to lift.
Oh, I know about that.
She's gonna take you for crazy, and I would completely understand that. Also, I have to say, I solved it and I have no gold, so...
Right, you did solve it.
Yeah, I did solve it.
We haven't said that.
Yeah, we haven't said that. I did solve the epitaph, and I still have no gold. How does that work?
I mean, you have the gold in your heart. You have the golden witch title.
And when do I get my hot witch?
How about you become a hot witch instead?
I see.
Don't you want to become a hot witch instead?
I actually wanted a hot witch, but I mean... Dude, calm down. Kawasaki is excited as if it thought of a perfect brilliant plan, grasped Natsuki up her arm tightly. Natsuki couldn't help but be dumbfounded. It wasn't just because she heard something as fake sounding as the Eden Gold brought up. She usually disparaged the story of the Eden Gold, saying it didn't exist and it was all a fiction his father created to borrow a lot of money. Right now.
Right now.
Natsuki was doubly taken aback because of his. And now we all have to stick together. And what about your business expenses until now? Can you do it all alone? Little puzzle, my ass, dude. Maybe if you're Japanese, a little bit easier.
それしかないんだ。ああ、夏日、本当に良かった。まだ手は残っていたんだよ。こんなに身近に。この島に黄金はある。それさえあれば万事解決なんだ。
Oh my god.
夏日、ジェシカを呼ぶんだ。今すぐここに。家族の危機は家族で乗り越えよう。
Okay.
さあ早く。黄金はこの島にある。すぐ身近にあるんだ。
Thank you, Natsuki. You did what everyone in the room wanted to do. Nice to cross aside, unable to withstand the pain they are. He was twisting in his excitement. Cross tipped over the edge of the bed and flopped pathetically on the floor.
いい加減にしてください。そしてどうか冷静になられてください。後ろ宮家の一大事にそんな夢みたいなことを言い出してどうするというのですか。
夏日。
あなたもよく頭を冷やされて現実的な金策をお考えになってください。
Thank you.
私も頭を冷やしてきます。
待ってくれ、夏日。
Maybe falling overhead knocked the sense back into him. Kraus tried to tell Natsui to stop, but she just kept walking. Closing the door forcefully, Natsui dashed away. Okay, give me one moment. I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'll be back very soon.
Okay, don't worry. I'm kind of torn because there's something I want to say, but I don't know if I want to say it now or if I just want to wait and let him realize later. If you know, you know. I'm talking about Natsuhi and their relationship with Ginzo. And one scene specifically in chapter 1 about the one-winged eagle engraved in her heart. Yeah, I'm torn. I think I'm gonna let it play it out a little bit. Because answer is very different from questions as an arc. So maybe he's gonna realize sooner than later. But oh my god, we also saw Erika! That's the kind of character that I absolutely hate. I despise her with a passion, but she was written so well.
I'm back.
Hello!
What were you saying?
I was saying that the character that was introduced for a split second, I hate so much. It's the character that I hate most in the entirety of Umineko.
Oh, okay.
But I can't hate her too much. I hate her with a passion, but not completely because she's written so well.
Oh, I
She's an
see.
amazing
I see.
character. It's just that I hate her.
No, I mean, I understand the feeling.
She's written so well.
I understand the feeling. I suppose she is a witch. Because there's no Beatrice. So...
Who knows?
Oh well, we'll see. Natsuki ran to the corridor. Boom. She didn't want anyone to... Boom. Directly on Genji's... She didn't want anyone to see her like this, but she had run headlong into Genji.
大変失礼いたし、奥様、お怪我はございませんか。
私は大放っておきなさい。
かしこまりました。
現地、お父様の書斎はどうなっています。
そのままにしております。南條先生は客間におられますが。
そうですか。書斎の鍵は持っています。
はい、ございます。
お貸しなさい。しばらく。私とお父様の二人きりにするよ。もし主人に私のことを聞かれても
かしこまりました。
After grabbing the key to the study Genji was holding on to her, Natsui rushed up the stairs. She then flew into the study. And finally, she cried out loud. Crying to Kinza as he slept in the bed, Natsui cried even harder. She kept imagining Kinza sitting up suddenly and patting her head. No, father isn't the type of person to pamper. Yes, we know about that. More likely he'd yell at me to stop being so noisy. However, neither of these imaginations would come true, because it was an undeniable fact that Kinzo had entered eternal sleep. But even so, Natsui begged the sleeping Kinzo to forgive and help them. It had only been a few hours since his passing. Perhaps his soul was still there, listening to her. Believing these, Natsui begged for Kinzo's forgiveness and help even more earnestly.
やかましいぞ。私は沈黙を尊ぶといつも言っている。
Oh, wait, he actually answered? What? Huh? The voice makes Natsuhi jump up in surprise. What? When she faced in the direction that the voice had come from, she saw Kinzo sitting at the study desk, folding up his reading glasses. Natsui understood. It was just an illusion, one Natsui had created from her desire to speak with Kinzo and remember as the man as he once was. This is magic.
This is magic.
No, that's not it. She believed that just for now, Kinzo's soul had shown itself to her. She was sure that doubting this would cause it to vanish in an instant. This is magic.
This is magic.
It's the same thing that Enji did, basically.
Yes.
Kinzo's attraction to the family headship came suddenly. At the time, it was nothing more than a young man from one of the branch families separated from the Ushinomiya main family. The main family might have had honor and tradition, but that was of no relevance at all to Kinzo, and he couldn't have cared less. Then the principal members of the main family were wiped out in the Great Kanto earthquake, along with their businesses. On top of that, there was a complicated antagonism between the members of the family at the time, and the elders were trying to impose their will on the others in the sinking ship. Because of this, they weren't even able to elect a leader to rebuild the Fushimiya family. They found common ground by selecting Kinzo, a youth with absolutely no ties to any of the opposing elders, to be the head. So the elders hadn't really trusted Kinzo with the rebuilding of the Shumiya family. Kinzo had been nothing more than their puppet, with his arm and legs being pulled in opposite directions.
お父様の苦難の日々はよく存じております。
そして戦争が当時の私はもう生きて戦場で死ねればと願ったが前線には送られなかった。しかし日に日に戦況が悪化し本土決戦の時が近づいてきていた。私は不謹慎にもその日が早くやってくることを願う。
Said that Kinzo listened to Dad's approaching footstep day in and day out. He started cutting his ties with his world one by one, and then, on that day, when he was freed, when he had freed himself from all this attachment to life and reached a state of enlightenment, he had a mystical experience. And he met her, the Golden Witch Beatrice. Oh, the power of mass, then I think it's definitely new, dude. But see, as I was saying to you the other day in private, this has always been treated as a big the reaching point of the mystical experience. See, freely himself from his attachment from life. It's a very you know, like reaching nirvana and all that. When you reach that point, you're capable of everything. Hmm.
存じております。そして戦後、お父様は天才的辣腕にて後宮家を復興させるのです。
The knowledge's elders who knew Kinzo at the time have wished to each other that Kinzo must have taken a knock to the head on the battlefield and returned with a different personality. That was how much Kinzo stood out after the war. When the story about Kinzo meeting a witch was true or not, there could be no doubt that the extraordinary experience of war had prepared him for that and let him reach a state of enlightenment. Natsuhi must surely have felt that if Kinzo had decided to describe the resulting mystical experience as a meeting with a witch, that wasn't something she could flatly dispute.
そうですね。お父様は戦争からお帰り魔女ベアトリーチェを従え、真の意味での後宮家当主となられたのです。
そうだ、ベアトリーチェに出会う以前の私は当主と呼ばれるだけの人形に過ぎ、私は黄金の魔女を従えて初めて。
お父様、その黄金の魔女は新しき当主である夫クラウスには力を貸してくださらないのでしょう。
貸すである。真に当主を継承したなら。
真に継承す。
真の意味で後宮家の当主としての責任と誇りを持てるかどうかということだ。夏日、お前ならば分かっているはず。当主とは血で継承されるものではない。魂と信念によって継承されるのだ。クラウスが我が長男であっても、それがなくては真の当主とは呼べない。そしてそれが心に宿されていたなら、その人間はたとえクラウスでなくとも立派な新しき当主である。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェはその真の当主に力を貸すである。そうであるな、ベアトリーチェ。
What? See, the battlefield moves. Have you seen that?
Oh my god!
I thought... Very simple animation. Oh my god! When Kinzo called the witch's name, gold butterflies seated out on every corner of the room. This fantastical scene had an otherworldly beauty to it. It was like standing in the midst of a blizzard of golden flower petals being blown about a rose garden of gold. As Natsuki stared at this scene in shock, the gold butterfly gathered and formed a human shape. So wait, she's not in that blank state here though.
No, she's not.
How does this work? Whatever.
Welcome to chapter 5.
What the heck? How does this work? If she's... Is it because she's in the game layer? So it's a different one?
We can say that, yeah.
I mean,
We are in the game
battle.
right now, right?
There's two battlers. One in the game, one outside the game.
Yeah. So it would make sense that she's now a piece, a game piece, just like Butter was, because now the game master is not Beatrice, it's
Yeah.
Nandonelli.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Then a witch reporter appeared.
いかにわらわこそ後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェである。わらわは奔放にして自由。誰の命令も聞かぬ。
それを世界でたった一人私だけが支配し、だからこそ後ろ宮家の当主たり得るの。
その傲慢さこそが後ろ宮家当主の資格だというか。
傲慢とはすなわち自信であり勇気である。そしてそれに見合う力を得ようとする悪なき向上心の表れである。だからこそ私はお前を支配した。
傲慢を語る男がそれを実現していく様を見るのは心地よいものだ。不言実行は強運なる者の言い訳に過ぎぬ。真の王者は持たぬ者さえも語る。そしてその傲慢を確かに実現してみせるの。わらわを支配できる者にはその王者の傲慢が必要だ。
わかるか夏日真の王者はあらゆる苦難を恐れ必ず乗り越えられると公言する。その算段がなくともだ。だから弱者は希望を持つ。
You recall everything without fail, evidently you figured. Oh, okay.
集いあがめ協力を誓う。そこに力が生まれ有言は実行されるのだ。それを心に刻め。
はい、お父様。
Also, he understood. This mystical experience, Kinzo was teaching her the attitude required to overcome hardship, even after his own death. Feeling a warm sensation rise up in her chest, she let the valuable words Kinzo had given her echo through her mind over and over. A true monarch, in other words, the true head of the Ushumiya family, was not to fear hardship. They had to believe that they could overcome any hardship. If they could not believe themselves capable, there was no reason why they would be. Oh, this is again the believing in if you do not believe and all of that stuff. And so he suddenly felt very ashamed of the way she had come into this room, sobbing and asking Kinzo what to do.
私は後ろ宮家の一大事に泣き言を言う暇などあるわけもありません。そしてお父様から後ろ宮家を引き継いだ以上、私たちは何があっても。ほう、どうやってクラウスの借金を返済するか、その青写真も描けぬのにか。
As Beatrice laughed unpleasantly, no, that wasn't it. She was tempting Natsui to see whether she possessed the mental readiness to be a true monarch. Natsui didn't hesitate anymore. She answered clearly, gazing into Beatrice's eyes.
はい、今はどうすればいいのか、その方法をまだ見つけることはできません。しかし、私の夫は新しき後ろ宮家の当主であり、私はそれを支える妻です。ですから、夫に代わり、聞こう。後ろ宮クラウスと夏日は必ずやこの苦難を乗り越え、後ろ宮家の名誉を守ってみせ、お父様にご心配をおかけすることは。
クラウスの借金の規模と惨憺たる状況については知っておるな。
はい、この屋敷さえも明日には立ち退けと命じられても拒めぬという最悪の状況です。遺産分配となれば親族たちに刑事告発さえされるかもしれん。しかし心配には及びます。そうなる前に 借金をすべて返済し名誉を取り戻します。
As she stood at attention with a resolute attitude, Natsuki proclaimed this clearly, with Yoshimiya Kinzo and Beatrice as witnesses. For a while, they remained silent as though waiting Natsuki's resolve. Then Kinzo clacked, chuckled, and turned away. Told you. If he could, he would have pointed hair as they had.
その資質を持つ女を息子がめとったことさえ、これもまたそなたの強運よ。
ベアトリー、私の最後の命令だ。
当主でないそなたの命令を、もはや聞く義理はないぞ。
ほう、ならば、新しき後ろ宮家当主の命令に従え。
そなたはすでに当主でなく、クラウスは未だ当主で、わらわは誰に仕えよというの。
Natsuki?
お前にそれを委ねる。後ろ宮家の当主を受け継ぐ資格があるかどうか。そして片翼のわしの紋章を背負うにふさわしいかどうか、お前が確かめるのだ。
断るぞ。当主でなき男の命令など聞けぬ。
いや違う、これは遺言で当主が残したお前への。
ならば従わぬわけにはいかぬか。わらわもつくづく付き合いがよ。
違うな。
ほう、
興味を持ったからであろう。
Haha.
つくづく。
夏
はい、お父様。
乗り越えてみよう、この苦難を。
はい。
To Natsuki, that might have been nothing more than a simple response, but to Kinzo and Beatrice, it seemed to carry much greater significance. Beatrice nodded deeply, and with a motion as elegant as her dress, she bowed deeply before Natsuki.
後宮家顧問錬金術師、黄金の後ろ宮家の苦難を再び乗り越えるため。ありがとう。あなたの力が必要です。私たちは必ずこの苦難を乗り越えます。そのために助力は惜しまぬが、先に断らねばならぬ。かつて金蔵の窮地を救ったように、そなたに再び莫大な黄金を与えれば、この度の苦難は解決することは分かっている。しかしそれはできぬのだ。そうですか。
すまんな、夏。ベアトリーチェの黄金は私一代限りとの役なの。そしてそれを受け継ぐためには魔女の碑文を解かねばならぬのが取り。
黄金は碑文にて封じられ、だからそれを解けぬ限り、そなたに黄金。わかりました。ならば他の方法でこの窮地を脱する方法を模索しましょう。主人は時間をかけるとは言っていますが、必ず借金は返済できると言っています。そのための時間を得ることができれば、この苦難は乗り越えられます。
よいぞ、夏。続け。
しかし金蔵はもう死んでいるぞ。医者と使用人は葬儀の準備。そなたは親族たちにその連絡。そなたは自らその金策の猶予時間を終わらせる宣言をす
Oops.
ることになる。
You need to get used to the system, of course.
No, I was gonna push a button, but my hand slipped and I pushed the
I see.
the entire thing.
Oh, that sentence.
Yeah, amazing. Natsuki gasped and looked at the ceiling. There wasn't actually anything there. But even so, Natsuki had found something.
降りたか、魔力が。
夏日決まったか。わらわに望む奇跡の魔。
We'll never know the answer, isn't it? All of those who had witnessed Kinzo's corpse were once again gathering the study. Kaz was still very unsettled and clutching at his head. Kenji was expressionless as ever. Nanjo and Kumasawa wore bewildered expression on their faces. But in stark contrast to all of that, Natsuhi's expression was
あ
resolute.
なたにもう一度お尋ねします。金策は間違いないのですね。
You don't seem so sure, dude.
1年いやせめて半年あれば必ず実る計画なんだ。
That's a lot of time, dude.
しかし今すぐにはどうしても無理なのだ。
ならば、それを待ちましょ
しかし親父はもう死んでしまった。
う。お父様はお亡くなりになどまだこうしてご健在であられます。
What? When Natsui said this, everyone looked up instantly startled, because they immediately understood what this word meant. However, Krauselot didn't get it right away and had to ask, "Is the dumb one?"
どういう意味だね。親父はもう現にそこに。
Dude.
繰り返します。お父様は未だにご自身の研究がお忙しいので、これまで以上に書斎を出ることはできません。ですから私たちはお父様が研究に専念できるように、お父様に不要なお仕事が及ばないようにしなくてはなりません。つまりそれはこれまでと何ら変わらないということ、理解できていますね。
はい。片翼のわしの家具はこれからも親方様にお仕えいた。
熊沢、そして南條先生、私の話は
それでいいのかね、夏井さん。
お父様は確かに今日しかし今この場にいる私たち全員が信じることで、お父様を蘇らせる魔法を使うことができ。
無理ですよ、奥様。
Don't believe. Just believe.
そんないくらなんで。
解剖すれば死亡時期を特定される。不審がられることは避けられん。
お父様はお亡くなりにならないのですから。解剖。
Of course, she wasn't planning to make Kinzo live forever. The wicked light given to Kinzo wouldn't last until Kraut could repay his debts. After that, Kinzo's soul would finally be able to sleep in peace. Andrew repeated himself that the time of death would be discovered during the autopsy, but Natsui said again that this wouldn't be a problem.
お父様は死亡届によってお亡くなりになるのではありません。
失踪届か。
To clap his hands together, Kraut stood up, shaking his fist.
借金が無事に返済でき、お父様にお休みいただける準備が整ったなら。
The Kojima must cultivate the forest. I was gonna say, if you put it in the forest, no one will ever find it because it's just wild.
In chapter 3, when all of the brothers and sisters were like, "Oh my God, are you not gonna say that father disappeared into the forest? Are you not?"
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that, and I was also actually thinking that when they said he's already dead, and that's why it's not coming down, it's not letting himself be seen, they were actually right. Rhizia of Vasting was the perfect place to stage a disappearance. When they Kinzo would go out to the forest for a walk and never return, they would search for him without success, and then be forced to report his disappearance. Look how heavy he is about this.
Oh, Krause.
これなら何の問題もない。
確かにそういうことにはなりますが。
Yeah, what do you do with the body?
それで良いのですか、奥様。確かに私たちが黙っていれば、親方様がお亡くなりになられですが、どこでどう間違って誰かに知られ。
熊沢、声が大きいです。お父様はあちらでお休み中なのですよ。起こしてしまわれるつもりですか？
It isn't a corpse. Kinzo is sleeping. As Natsui said that, Kinzo lay quiet on the bed as though there was nothing at all odd about her words. Okay, so this was much before the storm, right?
Much before, yes.
そなたがどんな姿をしていた、そなたがどんな日々を謳歌していた。
Once again, a silver gold butterfly started the wheel, covering Kinzo's cold body. Then, after the butterfly exploded into fine gold powder and disappeared. Just like those fairy tales that had been told over and over since long ago, Kinzo slowly opened his eyes and sat up.
お父様。
夏日先に我が命私は生への執着からそなたにこれをそそのかしたのではない。
嘘つきめ。多少は予見していたであろうが、どうだ金蔵。体の方は。
悪くはないが、どこか夢の中のような感じ、重みがないな。
この世にとどまることを許されぬ存在が、未だ多少の不自由は諦めよ。お体は本当に大丈夫なの？本当に大丈夫なのですか？
むしろ心地よいくらいだ。これが死後の世界の感覚ならば、幽霊気取りも捨てたものではな。
これにてどうか、夏日。金蔵はよみがえった。故に葬儀は不要。そなたの苦難はこれにて解決だ。ベアトリーチェ。
Natsuki tried to find words of gratitude. Beatrice would waggle her index finger and spoke.
感謝の言葉はいらぬぞ。支配者は傲慢であればよい。わらわは頼みは聞かぬが、命令には従うのでな。それでも言います。ありがとう。これで主人のために時間が稼げます。あとは私たちの仕事です。しかし夏日、ここ確かに金蔵はよみがえったが、それは永遠ではない。我が魔力が続く限りである。半魔法の毒素により魔法は破られてしまうかもしれぬことを魔法の断りを正しく理解し、その維持に努めよ。わらわはそなたに奇跡を見せるが、それをつかみ無論です。あなたにもらったこの奇跡を私たちは決して下ろす。それでよい。なるほどな。主と畳は新しい方がいいというのは本当らしい。
Okay.
気に入った。わらわはそなたに仕えようぞ。後ろ宮夏日。我こそは後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師、黄金の魔女ベアトリーチ。いつでも我が名を呼ぶがいい。さすれば現れ、わらわはそなたに奇跡を授けるであろう。ありがとう。私は後ろ宮夏日、あなたを刺激し、後ろ宮家の名誉を守ります。
Okay. The family conference of the previous year. Oh. Okay, so this wasn't even... That wasn't even that
2
year.
years ago.
It was
2 years ago. Okay.
6
it
months.
regulates-
6 months, dude. Of course, in 6 months everything will be fine. Yes, sure.
Sure. If you remember, the sorry.
That's okay.
The siblings said that Kinzo started acting weird 2 years prior.
Oh
So
yeah,
basically-
it's right. It's right. Yeah.
So basically, everything that happened from that point onward, it was just them pretending.
Yes. Damn.
Oh god.
I still... Okay, so... the thing is... Natsuki used magic. But she definitely used magic, because that's what... Same thing that Angel did. But... she's not a witch.
She got magic granted by Beatrice.
No. I mean, when she saw Kinzo the first time.
That was magic.
That
but
was
she's not a
magic.
witch.
But she's not a
That was
witch.
magic, but she's not a
When
witch.
she talked to Kinzo the first time.
Yes.
And all
It's
that.
magic, but Natsuki is not a witch.
I mean, we know that magic isn't exclusive to witches, of course, but because I mean, we haven't seen Jessica and George, yes, use it, of course.
Their conviction was so strong that it turned into magic.
Yes, but that sounds a little bit like everything is magic if you see it in a certain way.
I mean,
same as saying, if you think about it, without love it cannot be seen. All of this is always and always more like playing pretend. More and more. And because if you think about it, the anti-magic toxin is just people that it's not playing pretend. And can't play pretend. It's more like attached to the ground, let's say.
more realistic.
More realistic, yes.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just.
So if Georgia thinks, oh yeah, humans can fly, then magic ends.
Yeah. That's exactly what Bashir told him when he was flying.
Yes.
Don't think too much about it, or else you will fall down. Basically saying, don't realize that you're doing that, because else it won't work.
Okay, can I see the saving screen of this version?
The what? Oh, without
Saving screen.
this?
Not the saving screen.
Oh, the saving. It's like this.
I mean, it's cute.
It is very simple. Should we stop here?
I think so, because it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I could imagine, because that was a very big change of scene. So, wonder what happened if I... Oh, okay, you just go completely back here. I was wondering what would happen if you go back to a different scene. You just suddenly go to another place. Okay. Right, like...
This is 1985.
So this is the 2 years. Oh yeah, in 6 months, everything. 1 year, 6 months, not even 6 months. Yeah, sure, dude.
Sure.
Sure, dude. The amount of copy then was very big, very big.
Very big, yes.
So all the time we seen Kinzo doing Kinzo things, it was the Beatrice's magic. It was because of Beatrice's magic that revived him.
Apparently.
And then I was gonna say that it would make sense, because everyone that saw him is people that was into the pact of not saying to everyone that he was dead. But what about when he became Goldsmith? In chapter 4. That defies the rules a little bit.
No, wait. I think Butler had a theory on that.
Oh, that he wasn't actually him. That's right. It wasn't actually him.
The red truth that there's only 17 people on this island is valid.
Yes.
Otherwise, Beatrice couldn't have said that.
Yes. Okay.
It's like they're doing now in some way, just saying, "Oh yeah, I mean, Kinzo is alive. This is Goldsmith. This is Kinzo."
The thing is, if that's... No, wait. It's 17 people without Kinzo, because he's dead.
Without Kinzo, yes.
But if that's someone else, that they were 18.
But there are 17 people on this island.
And it's not a people? Goldsmith's not a people?
Not gonna say.
I mean, I understand that Beatrice is not a people because she's like dead. Okay, but Kinzo, I know he's also dead, but
He's also dead.
he's also dead. Yeah, that's right, but yeah, but he was there. He was there, and everyone see him. How do you explain that? Collective hallucinations? Small bombs?
Small bombs in everyone's brains.
Small bombs in everyone's brain? Causing aneurysm at the same time? I mean, improbable.
You cannot say that there wasn't a trap X that exploded in everyone's brains and made them have a
collective hallucination.
So being alive and calling himself Goldsmith.
Yeah, you have to believe that. You have to believe that very hard. I mean, made people swallowing a bomb. I could. Let's say I could see it. Okay, very, very. I need a lot of fantasy, but yeah, I mean, let's say I could see it. In their brain, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just thinking I had no fucking clue. What
I know, of course. By the way,
I'm not gonna say anything.
of course. Okay, everyone, I think we're done here for today. And next stream is gonna be in 2 days. It's gonna be Lobotomy Corporation because Office suggested it, and
another game where you're gonna lose brain cells.
Of course. What about you, Offie?
I have Silent Hill F tomorrow, and model outfit reveal in.
I mean, we're actually having a little preview right now about a head that wasn't there before. Also, I have a secret to say. Offie have commissions open. Just saying. Tell everyone.
Tell your mom.
Tell your mom. Tell your mom. Just saying. Just in case. I mean, you don't have to. Point again at you. You don't have to.
No.
But if you really want.
No, do not.
I'm joking, of course. Okay, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. Have a good day, night, or whatever. Bye-bye.